Hi, welcome to Swim Focus. In this video, we're talking about athletic movement. So this is one of the things that I think is really important in the water that is often forgot about. We don't teach it per se in swimming. We often think that athletes will find their own way in the athletic movement. So we define athletic movement as kind of the coordination between the kick, the pull, and the rotation, and how that all works together to generate force and stay balanced in the water. So this athletic movement is very important when you're thinking of it. Swimming, it tends to be forgotten about this though, because we don't teach it. We get so bogged down with the way we think about swimming in terms of angles on the hands, angles on the foot, how fast my turnover is, when I should be breathing. These are things that you can control very specifically. Athletic movement, not so much. How we traditionally teach it as swim coaches is you swim a lot of meters, and you swim some more meters, then you swim some more meters, and your body will naturally figure out how to do this well. There is some other ways to do it though. One, you can work on your core stability and your balance out of the pool. That's primarily a lot where this falls apart, is that our core isn't strong enough to stabilize in between our arm pull and our kick, right? So spending some time developing some core strength, not just sit-ups, but actually, off balance work, spending some time on a fit ball, spending some time in pointer positions on a fit ball, things like that, where we're able to actually be unbalanced and trying to stabilize. I also like any kind of movement that's done with a sharpness to it when we're rotating. There is some drills in the water that we can do to work on that control and that snappiness on the rotation. Right? One that I really like to teach coordination though is, I got dialed up here, is fly kick with freestyle arms. Now, fly kick with freestyle arms is unique a little bit in terms of that you get one kick per pull, and it's happening usually at the start of your catch where you need some balance, right? When you swim, you're actually going to have a kick at that same time as well, if you're doing it correctly. And not all athletes do it, even not all high performance athletes do it, but it is a way to make your body feel coordinated. So let's just take a look here at this drill. So what you can see is that the fly kick occurs set up for the fly kick. There's the fly kick happening right there, and there's our power phase, right? So as we're finishing that catch and moving into the power phase, we're going to have a very powerful pull. And that's the same thing in our freestyle, is that we're going to have a downbeat on the same side when we're in our catch. Right, so it's a really fun exercise to learn how to find the coordination between your hands and your kick, and you'll get better and better at this as you practice more. Don't feel frustrated with this drill. It takes a lot of coordination to kind of get it working, but it's a really fantastic drill for that. So I'm just going to see if I can find a video with a little more rotation power to show the example of a coordinated movement. Okay, so by now you're starting to think about how we should be swimming through using our legs, our arms, and our rotation together. Right? That's the whole point of this talk, is that we want to make sure that it's not be thought about as parts, but as an entire unit together. One unit to generate propulsion. Okay, so we're just going to watch this video here, and I want you to take note of the rotation on each pull, and that it is snappy, that there's a power to it all the way through. Okay. So every time you pull, we want to have that snappy rotation back and forth in between those two movements. And that's what we're looking for in a coordinated movement, that the kick, the rotation, and the pull is all working together. And how we practice it, we can do some drills, we can swim. One thing that I see where this falls apart is when people get in love with their tempo trainer and they're trying to increase their rate, and they stick at a rate that's just a little bit uncomfortable for them. And what you see is that we don't see that coordination between the two. So our coordination between our pull is falling apart, and that really loses all benefit of increasing your tempo, because you're not going to be able to maintain the force propulsion that you want it to be, that you could be maybe at 1 or 2 stroke rates less. So it's a balance. As you get stronger through the core, as your coordination improves, then you can start to increase the tempo naturally, right? Nothing wrong with trying to force a little bit of increase in tempo using a tempo trainer, but something to be aware of, that we're not completely losing our athletic movement. Okay, so I'll just leave you with this last piece of advice. Swimming is a sport, treat it as such. It is not a science experiment as much as I would like it to be. I really love the numbers. I love how swimming can be broken down into those things. However, there is this component that isn't necessarily, that we can measure so much. That what we can see it with our eyes is how we drive and transfer that weight power in between our sides. Okay, thanks. If you have questions, drop me a line, mike@swimfocus.com, and I'd be happy to hear your comments and your thoughts. Let me know. Happy swimming.